On dimensions. I have a couple like really clean, clear, magical objects. Big time. One is my wand. My last one's broken. Let me show you. Not the broken wand. Do you see this? This is a piece of yew wood. This is Queenie. I haven't even sanded her or cut her or anything. I don't know if I'm going to end up cutting her into 3 pieces and then making the triple-headed cobra wand, or leave her as a staff if I have to move from London. Sandalphon was like, that would be Simon's fault if we have to cut her up because she's the perfect staff, and it's really good to leave it like this, her like this. She was found at the yew forest, and I didn't have to cut anything or break anything. She was just left there in the middle of the yew trees, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. But carrying her home, because she's yew, she's poison, right? It's a really good code for you guys are just poison. She burns your hand if you hold her long enough. So if you get a yew wand, I will be making yew wands, by the way, because I have more. If you get a yew wand, like having it covered in the beeswax is really good because then it doesn't burn your hand so much. So I know I've done a whole video once upon a time where I showed all the pieces of yew. Oh, look, they're in the bag over there. I'm teaching you something here, by the way. But yeah, this is like, she always sits at the right of my video, anchoring in everything. Let me put it back. All right. She's legit. Okay. Then I have a spell icon tet built with spell icon feathers that sit a tet because one sits on the altar upstairs and 3 of them sit in a triangular portal down here right beneath my video. These were found in the Queen of Wands garden. Pelican. So the pelican feathers are like ultimate selflessness. Ultimate. So spell I can is my spells are more powerful than your guys's. It's white magic. Because it's coming from, you know, net soccer higher. All right. Then we got the fox mask, but you guys have seen it if you've, you know, watched the other stuff. This is the day that I got this was the day that Spirit, this was them telling me you're now the high priestess of the Silver Star. This fell into my lap. Literally, it was blown into my lap or right next to me on the summer solstice in Glastonbury on the tour. After I went around the tour yelling at everybody that this is supposed to be high priestess sacred energy because they were desecrating it on a sacred day. Now, to be a high priestess of the Silver Star, you would have to do things like that. You'd have to be, even if everybody's just a fucking demon, you'd have to be the one to get them to calm down and shut up and start meditating instead. Even if they want to kill you. And then it's your job to then grid the area, even if they're throwing tomatoes at you or things like that. What else do I have here? Oh, my mugs. I've told you the story if you watched some of the HOD videos on the coffee. So this was my Malkuth mug. This was my Malkuth cup for Kabbalah 99. Excuse me. So this is where I like to have my butter coffee. But nowadays I'm really liking this Vietnamese coffee. So I put a little layer of the condensed milk and then the really strong coffee espresso on top. And it's excellent. And it's nice that I only do that much because, you know, that's all I need. And then this is my cup for HOD. So every single time I use them, it's just a reminder. Love. I have a cup for HOD. It's on my altar upstairs. Looks like a fountain. It's a double layer cup. That one's not a mug because in HOD is where I stopped being a muggle. I spend about 10 or 11-ish pounds for every, so it's an intention for every cup. I'm not really big on spending a lot of money. This is an old magic. This is a Comme des Garçons. I think I said that right. Wallet. And I got this because of Star. It's clovers or plus signs and spheres so that I'd always be more wealthy. Always. You guys like buy things and start using them. I like buy things. I put them on my altar for over a year. Don't even touch it. And then when I feel like I've deserved to get to start to use it, then it's like I get lighting change. Anyway. When I finally feel blessed to be able, even like I've deserved to get to use it, that's when I get to start putting it to use. Magic is earned. And the more you actually put that work forward to even get to use a magical object. Now, I say I'm a homeless renunciate, but here's the deal. I could get a job wherever I want and rise the ranks of corporate ladder real fast because I'm smarter than every one of you. It's very easy. The thing is how do I do that at the same time that I'm teaching the world Kabbalah because everybody's gonna fucking die? Because they're all greedy shits that lie and cheat and steal. So I choose to be a renunciate instead. Now, if you understand that you have the capacity to do that, and it's kind of proven over and over and over. Like, you will get temp jobs for like a week, and they'll at a major corporation, and they'll keep you around, and they'll ask you to stay, and you go, no, I'd rather be homeless instead. That's how you know that you're a renunciate instead of a failure. So that's my life, by the way. All right. So I am eternally wealthy, whether I have money in my pocket or not. You know why? I've got really good karma. And I can meet people on the street and they'll take me in because I'm not dirty or insane. I provide a service, like I clean, etc. And I'm going to teach them all these cool things about spirituality, or cruel things about spirituality. Let's open this up and show you how I format. It's all clean. It's organized. Everything of mine is the files on my computer are organized, or I'm trying to, including all the music that I'm getting rid of. All right, let me show you. This is called invisibility teachings. Just because something's invisible doesn't mean it's not there. In this little pocket, I carry things like extra magic tokens to remind myself of like important times of my life. I really like Kubo as a movie for HOD because that memory and the emotions attached to that memory, that's where the power, the punch comes in. So here's the magnetite. I don't know. They're in the octahedron shape. There's 5 of them. I should have gotten 6. That would have been better. That would have been an octahedron of an octahedron. Instead, I just went with 5 for magic. All right. So magnetite's like to magnetize things to me, but it's also like this is something I purchased when building the Kali Isis temple. Tug to Pipe earring. Where's the other one? It's in the Kali Isis temple. It literally ripped my earlobe through and popped out because it could fit through it ripped a hole big enough in my ear that it just fell out and fell into the Kali Isis temple. Probably so that I'd always have some kind of gateway into it. It just fell into my coffee. All right. Here's a titanium cross. It was given to me as a gift. This is the Jesus. This is I am titanium protected from Jesus. Jesus likes to remind me to not always follow Jesus's path. There's a fire opal earring bead, and then there's fluorite, as in I'm going to gel this into the ground, and fluorite octahedron, and then a couple, like fortune cookie stuff. I don't even care what they say, and it's none of your guys' business. So just to give you a understanding, how you treat your magic is like how it comes through. Now, I've gotten rid of almost all of my art. I've gotten rid of my portfolios. I have almost nothing. So I have to just make sure that what I keep is really important. You'll never be able to see this unless I had a light going through the back. But it's a slide of a gift of a tree. It's a drawing of a tree that my grandmother gave me, the garnet tree. It's one of those crystal trees. And I drew it when I was like a kid, before she died, I think. And I took a picture for my art portfolio, and then that ended up here. All right. So that reminds me of my grandma and always being connected to her energy, like she's protecting me. And then there's just important things to me, like I'll show you one or two. When I was building the temple, planet Earth green. There was only one in the entire Home Depot store. One. And I took it and I put it in my wallet. Because I've got the key to the planet Earth green, and it looks a lot like mermaid magic. I wonder if you can even read it. It says planet Earth or planet green. Same thing. And then bamboo for luck. What else? I did the slide colors, or the colors I was thinking about putting in the temple, right? So I have keys that I continue to carry with me wherever I go, even if I end up homeless on a beach. Usually, I try to make sure I can carry as much memory and magic with me in as small and compact a container as possible. All right. I may get to keep these and hand them out to you, or I may have to distribute them as more magic. But it's all the feathers organized in types that I have picked up from the Peter Pan Park, an entire full box of them. It would be really sad if I have to give them away or do another magic with them, but whatever. I'm used to it. So this is the Egyptian goose. So this is to connect you to your Egyptian level twin flame. So the goose carries the Mother Mary magic. And then it has the iridescence to it. So that's the Egyptian one. You can look online. Have all sorts of feathers. One's for crossing the abyss. One connecting to the parakeets. That's a whole other level of magic. That's like a sword of truth right there. The crow feathers, the pigeon feathers to get the supernal realm anchored on the planet. Anyway, that sits right behind the computer as I teach classes every day. So how I create my space, whether you guys see it or not, that's part of the grid. Because that's the magic that comes through. Even the pearl necklace, which was a gift, another gift. All right, another level of invisibility. Let's go irresponsibility. These are my pillows bought in Glastonbury. So here's the small one. That's for my backrest. Because I sit here for hours. Here's the big one. I got a matching set. Because I don't like to mishmash. And then I sit on top of the Sacred Mirrors book. Make sure that my mirrors download everything I'm teaching from my root chakra. In the Spell I Can portal, underneath the table, underneath the computer, I always have the tarot for the Sephiroth. That's supposed to go in this one. That's good. All right. All right. So the next is more invisibility teaching. My magic comes with layers. One thing I say may have 500 layers to it. It's a gift that keeps on giving 30 years from now. Hopefully 500 years from now. That's the dragon energy. What I say drags on. Star has this gift. You'll hear one thing she says. It's like it's inception for your brain. And it continues over and over. So this is HOD times 5. This is a whole other layer of HOD. This was the Fox level HOD. This is Dino Star Blessed. Come on, let's get this up. Here is Yesod still. It's hard with the color change, but this is the purple. There's Malkuth. And there's the original Malkuth. Right here. You guys are lazy with your magic and your intentions. And it shows. It shows when you guys talk to me. It shows when you guys manifest low-hanging fruit. And it's both irreverent to your intelligence and a god. Now, if I have to move, if I can take these with me, I will. If I have to take strips with me, then I will. It'd be really sad. All right. Oh, that's supposed to go back in. So, Tugdebite. That's a heart of heart crystal. I think it's one of the most important crystals on the planet, and almost nobody knows about it. Just one pair of earrings was like $100. They glow in the dark if you put a UV over them, kind of like opal. Do I own anything Luciferian? This is my Lucifer book, my Lucifer magic book. It's about all I own. You don't see me wearing upside down pentacles or saying satanistic things. I own a book that Charlie told me to get to honor Lucy, and I even dedicate Lucy the dragon, protector and ally oath of the dragon clan. Communication, intention, written protection, earth, elemental, creation, direction. Lucifer. Almost everything you guys do or think about Lucifer is disgusting. Lucifer is supposed to be the king of the dragons. Lucy intention list. Rain in California. Rain in LA. Rain in Africa. Balance the drought energy throughout the planet Earth. These will be long-term intentions, right? Turn LA desert into a rainforest. Clean up ocean plastic. Take down the World Bank. Exterminate the Bennett Nosh spy energy. Exterminate sex crime trade. Take out greedy Wall Street corruption. This was purchased in 2016. This is the first page of my book. What else is in here? Lucy, be agent of justice of the one true creator, the one white light unity of God. This is my other dragon book. This is for Charlie. It's different. Charlie's energy and Lucy's energy are not the same. This is my personal action book. You feel how the energy shifts with this. It's just daily. And then this is Gracie, God's dragon. They're all different. What do I write in Gracie's book? Not much. I don't know if I've written really anything. Here. No, I do all the Kabbalah. All the Kabbalah work and sketches is in Gracie's book. So like greed, the script for the energy of greed video, or the titles for the videos I'm going to do in Kabbalah 99. Etc., etc. Class homework, etc. So Gracie's helped building this class. All right. That's invisibility teachings. I'm only going to attract saints and masters on the planet. Because that's me. Even my Lucifer book is global service and enlightenment. All right, I'm going to read this real quick. This is from the Theosophical Society here in London. They did a class called The Law of Return of Impressions. I think it was the first class I went to. They're very boring. Astral light. The occult. The invisible region that surrounds our globe, as it does every other, and corresponding as the second principle of cosmos, the third being life, which is the vehicle, to the Linga Saria, or the astral double in man. Let me break that down for you. If we have an astral self, so does planet Earth. And then so does the cosmos, etc. A subtle essence visible only to the clairvoyant eye. No. Excuse me. No, you don't have to be a clairvoyant to see astral light. I have the grid to actually see astral light in the physical or through my actual eyes. So what you say is, that's for me, and let that come and manifest in your grid, and you adopt it as soon as possible. All right. I had that capacity the minute I started doing the Kundalini awakening in 2008. And it was tested by Julianne Cohn. A subtle, visible only to the clairvoyant eye, and the lowest but one, visible the earth. This is so badly written. Of the 7 Akashic You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take pictures of this and post it, and you guys can read it yourself, because boy is it boring and ugly. The point is this: the law of return of impressions. Every thought you have creates an impression on the astral planes, on the planet, and in your field. And your karma is dictated by that return of impressions. So if you're an idiot and you spend your entire life creating horror movies, your life will end up becoming a horror movie. If you spend your life worshiping God and trying to clean everything up, that's what you'll create. If you spend your life going, I'm poor, but I'm wealthy on the inside, again, that's what you'll create. A lot of Blavatsky is in this. This is again, theosophical teaching. I hate name dropping old, archaic teachers, but you know, sometimes that's what it takes to get you guys to even listen. All right. So if you think about dragon eggs all day long, that's what you'll create. Whether in this life or in the next, it will be karmically come back to you in the astral plane. So like, here's the better teaching. Even if I had no students, none, 0, and I did this video, and I did all of the teachings for Kabbalah 99, and then I died because all of you guys were such fucking morons, I could show up the next lifetime and I will receive the return of impressions. And even if I was a repressed starseed, beaten to death, I would have this Kundalini bomb explosion and access to all of the teachings I put out into the world for free. For free. Because that's what I gave. Even if nobody paid me for it. Even if nobody supported it. So what I create, this is in my beginning. in the Malkuth. I will be my own wind beneath my wings just by creating this video. That's karma. So where you guys might be like, well, you don't even have a job. Well, you have to pay $500,000 of healing just to handle what I already do for free. So really, your guys' calculations of reality are insane and narcissistic. All right, so the law of return of impressions, this goes right there on my computer's laptop. All right, one more thing. Napoleon Hill. Sometimes trying helps too. Outwitting the devil. Napoleon Hill. You never outwitted any devil. You cut down trees to make a profit on the planet. And you still have to answer to me and the elves and the planet and the fairies. You never outwitted anything. But nice try. I can feel the grids and intelligence in this book. But they're unrealized. Much like the Bhagavad Gita. All right. Vishen likes to do like this. He likes to pat himself on the back real hard. Like, I don't even have to read a book. All I have to do is touch it. If any of you guys watched Vishen's commercial on absorbing book material, it's the same as absorbing a crystal, Vishen. Don't think you're so fucking special. Please. We just put it next to our body and it absorbs into our grid. And then all of a sudden we start living it out and then getting the teachings from our life experience and downloading it into our brain through that channel. It's really hard to understand anything if you haven't experienced it. On that note, we start with the dimensions. 33. Dimension 33. Invisibility. I just showed you dimension 33, but in an abstract way. Because what I show you here on my screen is a fragment of what is really going on. Unless you're clairvoyant or can see the dragons with your own physical eyes, you don't see Charlie coming out through the back. You don't see Lucy sitting at my shoulder about to start me having channel through him, or vice versa. You don't see these things. What you do see is me and orange. Maybe. If your vision's standardized. In Dimensional Mastery, I forget if we used 33 to make the cups invisible or not. I thought it was one of the other ones. But we would do it where we vibrated the energy so fast. I'm not going to do that for you guys here. That will be more like 99 3/4 or Kabbalah 400. But the energy would vibrate so fast that you could see through the cups or through star while she was teaching, etc., etc. Let me read Star's work. Bends light around subject. Subject is still in a solid form. Sometimes illness does not come back when you become visible. So this is a really good teaching. If you start working with dimension 33 and vibrating through that, if all of a sudden you blend into the dimension, what happens might be the disease starts dropping out of your body and then falling into the klipith for recycled materia. So then all of a sudden you can start feeling your body healing itself just by going into dimension 33. So you can hold that space. Take a deep breath in. Give your organs dimension 33. All right. If you've ever done dimensions work, where you start looking at somebody and they blur, those are the lower dimensions. Dimension 33 is like the higher. It's cyclical. It's not like higher, but it's like progressive, different. Visible projection, dimension 34. This is flat land, no dimensionality. Can project a flat image into the mind. Good with animal communication. They use pictures only. Do it in black and white. Okay. Visible projection. If you're communicating something to somebody telepathically, very rarely are you going to use a word. What you're going to use is an image. I like to use a tarot card for their brain and for like their body and the healing. So think of this. If you want to project a healing on somebody, you might find the appropriate tarot card to send to that person. And then you put it in every one of their chakras and maybe all of their organs and go, that's what was needed. This could work with the archangel cards, any of it, right? So there are so many different types of cards out there. And then maybe that person actually goes and finds that deck if you never told them that's what you did. And they go, oh, that's what I wanted. And you're like, yeah, that was my telepathic communication to you. Dimension 34. Okay. So what you would do is set intention. Dimension 34, visible projection. And then you project it at them. Okay. Images can be used as magic. If words are magic, images are magic. Image magician. Imagination. All right. Can project a flat image into the mind. Good with animal communication. They use pictures only. Do it in black and white. It's okay if you do it in color. But it's also good to do it in black and white. If you have a dog and it goes insane when you leave the house for like a week, it's really good to communicate that that's what's going to happen. Because the dog doesn't know that you're going to go away for a week. It just knows you're going away. So what you do is, this came from Brooke, probably from Star too. So what you do is, you show the dog a picture of you with your suitcase, leaving the house, and then a sunrise and a sunset and then nighttime. Sunrise, sunset, nighttime. Sunrise, sunset, nighttime. Sunrise, sunset, nighttime. Right? For as many days. And then you show a picture of you showing back up with your suitcase and then petting your dog and then feeding it a treat after. And then maybe that dog is going to understand how many days you're going to be gone and how to not freak out. That helps. I like, do I communicate to my dragons that way? Communicate to my dragons with books, but it's really good to communicate to the dragons like in pictures too, like prayer mandalas of like picture intentions. But they're not dumb. They can understand words. All right. Dimension 35, holographic awareness. Able to sense a hologram. My whole reality is a hologram. The image that I keep on receiving from Star right now, going, "You're not ready for this." Obviously I am. The picture of Star in the dome that I see right now is another hologram. Okay? Star's testing me. What? So like the astral, the Charlie and the Dragonland behind Charlie is part of the hologram. Science is proving this, finally, that everything in your brain that you're seeing or sensing or hearing is just a movie reel projection of your own brain. Everything. So if everything is a hologram, then nothing is fake. And then if nothing is fake, Lucifer is definitely fucking real. So you might as well learn to become friends with Lucifer. Watches like a movie. I wish Star had said, was a movie. But the point is this. Movies are also part of the hologram. So if you see yourself as 11 or as Hermione. It's because you're needing to be that archetype. Period. You need to get the lessons. You need to play that role. There's identification that happens. There are lessons coming through that movie, the spells, etc. You're needing to become more realized with God as the Dumbledore force or whatever, etc., etc. Ray, same thing. Okay? There will be lessons that come through in the movies to teach you quickly what you need to know in the future, but in the now too. The more you can actually get out of your own self-denial, the easier it gets. This is where the mirror prism kind of manifests, really. If you cannot get through the mirror prism that we're all one, and that we're not separate from each other, then you can pass HOD. But you can't do that if I'm sitting here asking for help and not getting it from you. You can't pass the mirror prism if you're wealthy and I am trying to help a planet and build Hogwarts and you're a fucking idiot and I am smart. Can't pass HOD. So the best thing to do is to pray to God to make you intelligent and stop separating yourself. Because if I am poor, I am just your mirror. Watch is like a movie. Holographic awareness. There are all types of different holograms. There are holograms when you do a psychic read on somebody. And then it will actually watch like a movie. You can see things being played out. Visible from all directions. Okay. Includes sound, color, and perspective. I like perspective as in point of view. Also bias. There are rules. There are rules you're going to have to follow because the tree of life is in this hologram. You have to follow the rules of the tree of life. Sorry. If you try to bypass it, you're just going to be thrown into the lava. So if you try to pass HOD and get into Netzach and some fairy slits your throat, that was your fault because you didn't learn the lessons you were supposed to. Why? Because you thought you could get away with something instead of do the real work and submit. Include sound, color, and perspective. Holograms are just like movies. They come with sound. You can hear them. You could see them, etc. I hear and see Star in the astral planes a lot. It's very much like Jedi. She's a Jedi. She's going to project herself and then teach. I do this also. I am unaware of how well I do it. I will find out later. But this is very much like Luke Skywalker, how he projects. This is just the awareness, the ability to sense the awareness between this material and then stars. Projection is also part of Dimension 35, or like a psychic read on somebody. Okay. Those 3 different types of holograms and having the discernment is part of Dimension 35. Dimension 36. Holographic read. Able to do a holographic read of all lifetimes. I like to do it in the set of a tree. So I'll do a circle of Yesod on somebody, and you'll see the different lifetimes attributed to Yesod. I'll do a circle of HOD. Those are the more evolved lifetimes. A circle of Netzach, that's their fairy lifetimes, more evolved lifetimes. Circle of Tiferet, now we start getting into like angelic lifetimes. And they'll appear in sequences, like little boxes or chambers for those each lifetime. How you can tell somebody's your twin. Their HOD might not be aligned, but their Netzach will be. And then the Tiferet will definitely be. So they might currently be in a marriage or in a relationship with somebody else. And it will show. But you'll see lifetimes of you with them in HOD, but they might not be with you at the current moment. But the minute Netzach hits in, they're not allowed into Netzach without being with their twin. Because Netzach is where the chastity healing begins. And then that cleans up the HOD energy. When I do it, I usually use the Briatic colors, like orange, green, yellow. Portrayal of significant events of lifetime. Where does the alien? Aliens are also HOD, unless they're in the fairy world. Very high-level mind stuff is still HOD, unless they're archangel level aliens, and then those are the higher worlds. Or fairy aliens, and then that's Netzach. Alien doesn't mean higher intelligence, it just means extraterrestrial, meaning not on planet Earth. So it could be a lower level alien or a higher level alien. Okay? But a fairy is a fairy. And an elf is an elf. So the grays are very HOD. Now there's higher level of grays that are more angelic as you climb the tree. And that would be where Mother Andromeda is. So Mother Andromeda is like the queen of the grays. She's like Archangel Zaphiel. Okay, so she's like a galaxy, like that level of intelligence. She is the galaxy as far as I'm concerned. Okay. That's why I call her my Rava. Okay. Yes, you can ask for a Mother Andromeda to help you. She's not nice. She is very good and very smart. appears like a sequence of chambers, portrayal of significant events of a lifetime. We're still in dimension 36, holographic read. Portrayal of significant events of a lifetime. You can start looking at people through their lifetime. This lifetime, I would do it in a linear sequence instead of a cyclical. And then there'll be like X's on their timeline of like major events. And then like I would open them like a present and see how it unfolds. Sequence is spectral according to intention. So I hope she used that meant the word spectral, not spectral. Sequence of events is viewable according to intention. So just like how I said it, like if you do it in a linear timeline and you look at the X's, if you do it like in the way where you go, I want to see where you had your first love, maybe one of the X's will pop up, or maybe a white X will show up, right? And then I'll see where that happened, and it's like maybe a first puppy love crush, etc., like at the age of 7 or 8 or 9, right? So then I can tell. I can tell where that is. And then I can go, where was your first just like major soul crushing event? Or if somebody's a walk-in or like got possessed by a demon, like where was that on your timeline? And so how do we heal that? And then it will pop up. It will start to light up. And then, so holographic read, dimension 36. Like rooms reflected in mirrors. If you've ever been to the Broad, there's that infinity mirror room. I like to say that is like understanding the mirror prism. But all you actually need are 2 closet doors that face each other, the sliding glass doors in a hallway. And it's like the infinity mirrors. And then that would be a mirror prism. I had that in my temple, my portal temple. And it was gridded with beauty and truth. So every single time I walked through that mirror portal dimension into the bathroom or back into my space, I was gridding. It was like a cord-cutting healing of beauty and truth, beauty and truth, beauty and truth, beauty and truth, etc. through all the dimensions. It's an infinity mirror. Okay. Like rooms reflected in mirrors. So you can access, like if you imagine, you can change the way this spectrum looks by changing just even a sequence of lighting spectrums coming through, and it's how the light shines onto something, maybe cleaning it up or doing a major healing. Okay. Let's move forward. Holographic comprehension. Reading the hologram and comprehending the hologram are not the same. It's the same as reading a book and then understanding what the book says. They're very different. So I like to hold Dimension 37 in my brain as I'm doing a holographic read. Now she says, is the capacity and ability to contain multiple holograms in the brain or the heart. So I am much more a brain person than I am a heart person. And some people might say that that's bad, except I'm smarter than they are and a gray. So it's not bad. Their level of brain is not the same as mine. Because my heart is like in my root chakra and being grounded on the planet. And if I'm super smart, I can calculate love with my mind. So these are the dogmas that spiritual people that still haven't shown up to even help want to shove down my throat, yet they're not even as good as Jesus is. It's their hypocrisies. So, multiple holograms in the brain or the heart. Where do I really feel my heart chakra? My heart chakra usually really turns on with the dragons. That's when it's like, boom, everything dies. There are multiple holograms in the brain, like how I can dissect this holographic universe, like Earth star, right? Planet Earth. And I can see the heavens realms overlayered on top of Earth, and I can include the dragon realms at the same time. And I can see the fairies come in, right? That's very similar to the dragon realms. So it's the same to me. To Star, I think it's all the land of Fae. But the heaven realms are very different. So it's the ability to include all of them. So you can see that somebody might be a total piece of shit on planet Earth, a total piece of shit. But you can see their angel self layers on top. And you go, maybe that person can get that lesson. It's a cube in shape and size of a computer chip, the size of a door. What I'm going to say is it's relative. And then you read the next paragraph on Dimension 37. The ability to decompress and compress to a size that will work with your body. Now, Lucifer is bigger than Charlie. Lucy is Charlie's alpha. But Lucy will show up in the size of Toothless. And Charlie will stay big. But real Lucy's the bigger alpha. And then Charlie's huge. But Charlie will compress just to make my brain not go insane about him being around me. So you'll see your dragon shrinking or getting bigger as necessary. They'll usually show you how big they actually are and then compress. And rarely do they get much bigger than that, unless they're in like how Korra went into Spirit Patronus body. So the dragons can do that too, and they'll like, I'll take over the whole planet with my astral energy. So, and same with the pixies and the fairies. So pixies are small fairies, and fairies are like the size of humans. But sometimes a fairy that's not a pixie will show up in the size of a pixie. You can tell the difference between fairy and pixie. One feels like it's gonna lightning you, and the other feels just nice. The fairy feels nice, and the pixie is like Tinkerbell throwing shit at your face. Higher vibe, okay? Tinkerbell is not nice. Just remember that. Tinkerbell was not nice to Wendy, much less is she nice. All right. The ability to decompress and compress to a size that will work with your body. Now, the elves aren't nice. The fairies aren't nice. The pixies are definitely not nice. The dragons are not nice. God is not nice. These are all mythical beings that are against you. And then you have the archangels again. Not nice. Your only ability is to be like a humble Frodo or Froda. And then or Jake Sully, you go like, my cup is empty. Please teach me. Like, I know, I know that I suck, but maybe I can be trained. 38. Holographic setting. How does even Arya Stark was stabbed to death? Just remember that. She was nothing, and she was still stabbed by her teacher, who was a hermetic master. How to set the holograph in place. Number 38, holographic setting. I think we just did that, right? The movies, right? We create a set of Arya being stabbed as she's at the fountain, being chased down by the blonde girl that hates her. So, how to set a holographic in place. There are a number of appropriations. This room is one. So the fact that the dragon egg is running, Charlie's right here, all of my grid is set even to do this class video. Okay, that's a holographic setting. Having the floors washed. Having Netzach and Tiferet at my right side, about to be put on because I'm almost done with HOD, right? And my sweaters. All of that is holographic setting. The capacity to change environment and landscape in a hologram. When you're building a temple, that's all you're doing. You're building the temple, it's like all you're doing is slava, setting prayers and intention into everything. So every thought, creating that return of impression in the gridding of the wood before you lay down the wood tile into the floor. The prayers you put into the paint as you stir it before you even prep the wall. Every inch of sanding the walls before there is more prayers and intention. So every inch of your temple building is like a holographic setting. That temple was building this. And it was for saint. He's like purified to death. Okay? And then it included all the dimensions and the Kabbalah teachings and the light language in the floors. Drawn on to the floors. And what else? Malkuth, Kabbalah, Golden Dawn stuff, Freemason stuff, Child of God stuff, Kali popping out of the wall. Huge astral imprint. So as you're building the temples, that becomes a huge part of the magic. Temples are supposed to be built like that at the baseline. Gardens are supposed to be that. Your clothes, like on it, like honestly, like clothes should be woven, and like every seam that is sewn should have intentions and prayers and meditation attached. It's funny when I say nobody has gotten past HOD, and then I look at what I've written down in my Lucifer book more, and I see that I've started writing all the dimensions down. And so I could memorize them, and Lucy could make sure that I learned them like on Lucifer's level. And then, so I have dimension, like I have all the body dimensions. I understand those very well. And then we have the vortexes. And then we had all the way up to dimension 36. It's holographic read. So now I'm putting in all the new dimensions. And then I'll break them down and get the lessons from Lucy. The only real way to move forward is to move forward. So that's how we know we were stuck. So we're at dimension 39, holographic imprint. I'm writing it down as I talk to you, because then the new dimension starts to set in. All of this paper is recycled. You see that? You guys don't have to buy stuff that is against fairy law to do magic. Except for maybe a pen And then you buy containers instead of more pens. Okay, holographic imprint. I think I'm teaching you something about holographic imprint. Make imprint like on a computer. Set it, make it lighter or darker. The fact that I had already made a holographic imprint in my Lucifer book of the certain dimensions we were going to be learning. Okay, so I already knew on a subconscious level that that's where we were stuck, dimension 36. And then we move forward, and I'm making an imprint to do it. So Lucy is the king of the dragons, and connected to Earth Star of Earth Star of Earth Star and core of the Earth, etc., right? When we move forward. Really grounded 10-year dimensional mastery. Make imprint like on a computer. Set it, make it lighter or darker. Now, I like to think of it as voodoo. You draw something, and then it manifests. That's the imprint you're creating. Right? Add or subtract beings from hologram. You mean we can take people out of the planet? Kind of like masters or saints only on the planet? Planetary ascension? And oh, what about this? The race to end all racism. Blue people only. You're either going to transmute, teleport your consciousness into a new body, or you're not going to exist on this planet. No drama around race allowed. 0. Not for humanoids. Dragons aren't racist against each other. They go black dragon or white dragon. Doesn't matter, it's a fucking dragon. What they do is like fury or not fury. Like the type of dragon. Why? The same reason why geese, like there are 3 types of geese at the Royal Gardens. They're like the old style gray geese. Like Mother Goose, right? There are the Egyptian geese, and then there are the Canadian geese. And the geese only mate with the correct match. So the Canadian geeses mate with each other. The gray geeses mate with each other. And the Egyptian geeses mate with each other. Humans don't understand this. They're against nature. Right? The twin energy. Humans don't understand it at all. That's why you'll see old souls with new souls that are demonic because of money. Instead of who is the actual appropriate mate. It's gross. Humans are against nature. Sometimes you'll see a couple that's like, they look a lot alike, and they sound a lot alike, and they feel like the same person. That's cute. All right. On the inside. All right. So holographic imprint. I think I just taught another lesson. They have the same imprint. Create new situations in the hologram. In holographic imprint. So maybe it's like casting a spell by creating new bridges to certain people. Or maybe it's like God coming through, or Archangel Sandalphon coming through and making me do the Dragon King trials on my Facebook. Because we're creating new situations in the hologram that I was not planning on at all. And then when I wanted to like protect somebody, Archangel Sandalphon came through and go, no, 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 he is not going to blackmail you out of his own duties to God. That was Shay. I was trying to protect Shay. And then God made me put him on the list anyway. All right. Create new situations in the healing. When you draw, Star likes, this was a really good lesson. Somebody had cancer or a disease on their body, so Star would have them print out like a sheet of that organ, like a coloring page of that organ, and you color in the organ with green and blue because you're creating the new healthier. So you're seeing you're co-creating your own healing by coloring in that imprint that you want to do. This works with the mandalas. That works like a sacred geometry on your soul. Or chakra mandalas. You can do a chakra mandala. Try to be as fairy law first as possible. Period. Try to buy recycled paper or whatever. Everything green. That's the Netzach energy. Otherwise, it's got karma attached. Even if you're in this class and have grace, grace is not like a blank check. Grace is like, I can't do everything perfectly. So where I would have been fucked by fairy law, maybe they'll give me a pass. So I do everything I can to move forward, and then the grace fills in the gaps. Not like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because I have grace. That's not grace. That's entitlement. Grace is like, I said I was going to be a vegan, but then my blood, like, all of a sudden I became anemic, and now I need to eat meat again, and then I'm really terrified that the fairies are going to hurt me because of it. And then the grace is like the forgiveness that comes through because you tried your hardest. And then you can balance it out with like chicken fingers or chicken salad, like grilled chicken salad, etc., or figure out how to do it in a good way. Anemia, that's going to be more like red meat, right? The iron. Okay. Point is this: try your hardest, and then grace comes through. So fairy law first. Holographic manipulation. Oh. What came through for number 40, holographic manipulation. The The first thing I'm shown is Elaine. Elaine has a tree. She has a Christmas tree. Now, if you've been around Star or you hear me talking about Christmas magic and Christmas ornament magic, the tree represents the supernal realm, your third eye. So Star like to say your pineal or your pituitary gland, but to me it's the same, right? It's the supernal realm and what's going to be portaled through for the new year. So the Christmas ornament that gets portaled through for the next year is like the magic that comes through the third eye for the next year. This year was honey magic. Next year is going to be blue and red angel wings. The next year after that, it's going to be the pine cone dragon egg. It's the skeleton of a dragon egg. And then every year after that will be filling in the dragon egg. So Elaine has this Christmas tree and it sits lit all year long. And she does a magic and she puts it on the Christmas tree. Like voodoo art. Elaine's a really good witch. I really like this statement. All angels are witches, but not all witches are angels. Just that. Piecemeal characters join beings into one. So holographic manipulation. So I like the idea. Me, Elaine, and Star is the triple goddess with the Christmas tree pineal activation. Everybody needs everyone. Okay. Then we have piecemeal characters join beings into one. This is the ability to take Ray, Hermione, Triss, Trinity, and Katniss and then put them into one character. Okay? Or the Disney princesses. Same thing. It's like you're understanding the hologram and why all the Disney princesses look like the same except for Moana. Even Moana, and it's not because of her skin color. It's because she's just a little heavier than the normal ones. And she's just a little chunkier and whatever. She's actually one of my favorites. So then we go, any editing you can do on Photoshop, you can do here. Holographic manipulation. So I don't know how that's so different than holographic imprint. But maybe it's through the timeline spectrum. Any editing you can do on Photoshop, you can do here. It's like take away somebody's fatness, unhealthiness, take away their cigarettes, right? You heal addict, cord cutting, all of it. All of it's going to be dimension 40. Take away a bad relationship out of somebody's life. It's filled with lies and deception. Okay. Or Take away the lies and deception. Take away the lies and the deception out of somebody's self-relationship. That's even better. Okay. Can create very abstract images here. I feel like this is something Star likes to do, is work in blobs instead of form. But think of what dreams may come, and that it could go from very tight particle format to like very flowy impressionistic wave format. It could also be like the difference of seeing Charlie as a brown blob or Charlie like looking like Drogon. So I normally see Charlie as a prettier version of Drogon. Drogon's ugly compared to Charlie. All right. And then we go. Man, I should have written that one down. So we say dimensional mastery, holographic manipulation. So all of these dimensions you would learn in Divine Intervention. I think we stop at 52. I don't remember how high we actually go in DI, but I know we like have to do dimension 32 in DI. When we do the dimensions in DI, it's really for like healing. That's it. It's like pop tumors out of people, pop cords off of people's bodies, anything to get them to heal. So all of these dimensions are also for healing. Dimension 41. Holographic projection. I'm a very dark healer. Why am I dark? I'm a shadow healer. So this was how I was taught. So it's how I teach. So I'll put you in hell realms to teach you how to battle them. And so you can gain the strength to battle all of the hell out there. That's why the people who are attracted to me are only seraphim in training or higher, but not lower. So I am attracting tough, punch kind of people, and not these Hufflepuff weirdos. I don't even want to bother with them. I attract exorcism ninjas, and that's how I'm gonna teach. Dragon people. Okay, holographic projection. I just gave you a holographic projection, by the way. That even if you're a weird muggle human, there's a part of you that's a seraphim. And that human part of you is a seraphim in training, even if you feel this big. So you might not be able to do everything yet. You might not be able to do anything yet, but you're still a seraphim in training. Dimension 41 holographic projection. Bilocation, 3D. In Dimensional Mastery, we play a lot with this. Star uses it well, but not a lot now. It's almost like that holographic read, right? So the holographic read is me seeing her projection. 41 is her projecting it. Okay? So I can feel her projecting 41 at me. This is where Luke Skywalker uses Dimension 41 to project himself astrally in front of Kylo. And Kylo can't tell the difference if it's him physically or astrally, because Luke is so good. Because look, Luke is a master and grounded at it. Now, that is the level I would like to get to someday. I'm working on it. We're all working on it. Elijah Wood has done this pretty well, better than Star has. So he's Kylo. Whether he wants to understand that he's Kylo is his mental dysfunction. So he can project himself astrally and tell me things like where he's gonna be if I'm planning to be there to help me, or if he's not gonna be somewhere because I was planning to meet him. And that has happened too, okay? So he'll project. He's very good. It's gross. He's so good, I don't know if he understands. I don't know. You guys are going to have to tell me about, but I tend to try to keep myself grounded as much as possible. Who else is gonna be good is Greg Wolf. He likes to project. It's crazy, but I felt him one day trying to project himself into my temple space, and I had gridded it so well that his projection hit the wall and then he fell backwards. So you understand, we can grid our temples to keep people out and not let their projections manifest inside. Also, the dragons are constantly around me. So if you guys are projecting yourselves at me, you better be, it's only of planetary service or higher. Because the dragons, there's so much karma. You're going to annoy them and you're going to annoy me if it's not of service. You guys dragons are to be respected. At a baseline. Okay. Shape shifting. So who else? Kelly has astrally projected at me. I can feel her. Patricia also. I can feel you guys and I can see you. Whether you're consciously aware of your projections or not, usually they're just really nice. Usually you're just trying to tell me something or remind me of something that you need to be told. Something easy. Okay. Shape shifting. Note that total mass does not change. You take your mass with you. I'm gonna edit this. It doesn't change in dimension 41. It can change if you add some of the higher dimensions with it. So if I'm gonna shape shift into a dragon, my mass will change if I add some of the higher dimensions to change my mass with it so that I don't look like a pipsqueak dragon. Okay. I would be a really small little fire breathing dragon. All right. Shape-shifting, I have a few shape-shifting genomes. Panther, jaguar, bee, and dragon. I get the cobra heads, right? But those are more like the Egyptian magic stuff, not the full body shape-shifting genome. I've gotten the cow head. The cobra heads, I have now 11 of them. This is like God saying it's like, check. And then, what other? I got like a velociraptor head. And then the unicorn head. Okay, so higher mixing with the lower energies. There is nothing bad about getting a velociraptor head. They're smart. And then especially if you're getting it with the cow head, you're like, yeah, that's good. At the worst, it's balanced. At the worst. And then you get the unicorn, which is the Christ energy, and you're like, nothing's the problem. And then I got the full white dragon, full body white dragon initiation. And then that felt like ice. That was rad. And then that's when I started talking to the God again. And the downloading archangel work. Okay. If you become a sparrow, your legs may snap under the weight if you're not changing the body mass. Okay, so it's hard to compress. I don't know how I would compress that. So it's better to do bigger shape shifting until you master some of the different dimensions where you can shift the weight. Again, this might be something you learn now and then understand 50 years from now. So don't push yourself. Just like me, I never push I just let the divine unfold and then do the work how I need to. But I'm always pushing myself to do divine service. Okay? If foot/paw prints are very deep, it may be because of a shapeshifter, because of the heavier weight. So let's say like a human shapeshifts into a house cat. If they didn't change the mass, and like let's say the body mass weight was so heavy the paw prints might go that deep, and you're like, who created that? That's weird. So any of those weird idiosyncrasies might be because of like magical animagus stuff. Okay. So stay away from birds except for the eagle or the condor. Yeah, again, unless you're doing body weight shifting. So eagles and condors are huge. Hawks, eagles, or condor, like the big birds. All right. Also this is where I disagree with Stark, because we're seraphim. Also stay away from mythical animals, as you must time travel to do so, and you may get caught in the time traveling. If you're a seraphim, you are the police. So you're fine. You're God's police. Stay away from... How do I stay away from mythical animals when I only work with dragons? What? I don't, right? You're a dragon, you shapeshift into a dragon because the dragons made you shapeshift into a dragon. So that's just the law, and that's fine. There are also portals into Dragonland. So instead of time traveling, it's parallel universe jumping. It's not, to me, a parallel universe is not necessarily like a parallel universe. It just means they're coexisting in the same space at the same time, and you just open a gateway into it. Okay. That's it for dimensions for HOD. That's enough. The dimensions for Yesod will be on the dimensions for Yesod. I'm going to do that right now. All right. That's all we've got. And if you have any questions, email me. Please be a real student that's doing the class if you're going to bother wasting my time. If you're just watching this and you aren't participating in the full class, I'm probably not going to answer your questions. I'm going to send you to Star to go take Dimensional Mastery and pay for it. Collie Wren out.